Welcome into Arsenal Report, and the big question everyone's asking is this tie with PSG in the Champions League semifinal over? And the answer is no. Let's just be very realistic. It's a one-goal deficit, yes. PSG have had a ridiculous run of form at home. The only loss they have as of late was to Liverpool 1-0, and PSG absolutely dominated that match. But PSG absolutely dominated that match, and Liverpool won 1-0. So it's possible. And you win 1-0, you get up 1-0. It's a fresh tie. I don't care who's home, who's away. The crowd starts getting nervous. That PSG crowd, similarly to the Arsenal crowd, is going to be packed with tourists, people who got UEFA tickets, people who are not ultras. It's going to have a bit of a stranger atmosphere than you'd expect. Yes, it's going to be loud in there, but the Arsenal fans are going to be very, very loud because you have to have a certain level of ticket ballot in order to get an away ticket. And I think there's going to be some nervousness in the crowd. If Arsenal's able to do what PSG did to us, which is get an early goal, kind of just shake the whole thing up, then Arsenal can be that deadly mid-block team they want to be, try and get out on the counter the way that they played Real Madrid away, and they'll win the match. So Arsenal's key is just an early goal. I know that's not as easy as it sounds, but this match is not dead and dusted. You just can't go behind at PSG. You have the whole 90 minutes. You just cannot go behind early. You just need to get into the match, get a footprint into the match, and keep in mind, Thomas Partey is going to be back. That means Marino's going to go striker. We're going to be able to play the way that we would have wanted to play. And they were very shaky. Hakimi was very, very shaky in that match. I thought Marquinhos and Pacho did well, but Marquinhos is somebody at this point who you can take advantage of. I think Saka was unlucky not to have had a few more opportunities than he did. Obviously, that moment with Nuno Mendes where Mendes pulled him down and Saka got called for the foul. Like, we grew into that game really well, and we're going to go there with some confidence. We've got Bournemouth on the weekend, in which I think we'll rest a lot of our players, at least not start them from the beginning. Who cares if we're second or third? We need to focus on the second leg, and I think that's key for Arteta, to focus on the second leg. Do not focus on this Bournemouth match. Yes, it would be nice to get a result and to continue to get some momentum. It would be nice to score some goals, try some different things out, get Ethan a start, so maybe he can potentially start in that PSG match. Because we all agree, like, I don't care who you are, that Martin Odegaard played horribly against PSG in that first leg. And the answer is it's time to give Ethan the opportunity. It's time to take that risk. We've seen what it's meant for Miles and how he has grown as a player. I mean, he was amazing when he first played those first minutes for Arsenal, but the way Miles has grown because of the opportunities he's been given and had to be given due to injury, Ethan is the same kind of player mentally. We need to give Ethan those opportunities, and this is a key match to do that in. I'm sorry. I almost always am very realistic with my starting 11s because I think Arteta, he's proven he's very predictable in that way. But this would be a chance to change that for the better, to take a real risk. And listen, if Ethan has a bad first half or is not influential, it's not a matter of hooking him. He plays 45 minutes and then you bring the captain on. That's not going to change his confidence the way that he goes about it. It's a game state thing to me. And if we're going to go out and make an early impact, Ethan Nwaneri is the kind of player who can make an early impact. He's someone who looks to drive at goal, looks to shoot from distance. Think about that Dembele goal. If that ball falls to Odegaard, he is not shooting first time. Ethan will shoot that ball first time. He has the technique and the ambition to score those types of goals. He needs to be the one starting this match. At the very least, if he's not going to start, Odegaard needs to have a very short leash. Or we're going to get into a position where we're going to have to take a defender off and go out and attack and bring Ethan on for a White or a Kiwi or whatever it might be in order to put ourselves in the position to get in and at them a little bit more. And I think it's worth noting as well, with Declan Rice in that left 8 spot, we saw the best way to take advantage of PSG was to dribble at that midfield. They're very hard to pass through, but every time Declan or Miles tried to dribble through, even Saliba a couple times, we got onto some really good transitional opportunities. They're going to try and stay in their shape to close down passing lanes and prevent you from passing through the press. Hence why we had troubles going long. But once we started trying to dribble through, and Miles was the first one to really do that, we saw a real ability to create from that. And I've seen a lot of people talking about Fabio Vieira over the last day or so because he's the kind of player who has a deadly final action, can score from distance, really good off of a set piece. And the question is, would he have been useful this season? And I think the thought behind this for Arsenal was, we're going to send him out on loan with the hopes that either he comes back ready to make a real impact next year, play a lot of minutes, like play 2,000 minutes, or up his transfer value and be able to sell him and kind of re-inject that into the squad. I think the real issue from all this is not whether or not he would have been useful this season. It's that I don't think that second thing has happened, in which case he would have been worth more for him to stay here and come on in a match like that. Someone who's a little bit more trusted than Ethan Nwaneri at this point. Somebody who Arteta himself brought and spent the money on. And obviously with the attack issues we had, it would have allowed for Ethan and Fabio to play on that right wing when Saka got hurt, or Ethan to play on the left, or Fabio to play on the left, and have the opportunity to have another attacker in the squad. That's the most useful he's been. I don't think Fabio Vieira comes into that very physical PSG match and makes a huge difference, because all the issues Odegaard had, Fabio Vieira has had those issues a lot more often in terms of the physicality, riding challenges, winning duels, getting into those 50-50 balls. And that's really what we missed from that position from Martin Odegaard in this game, and that's not really Fabio Vieira's strength by any means. And lastly, Jurrien Timber, who I think we all can agree has been one of the best players for Arsenal this season, bar none. Just week in and week out, incredibly consistent. He's really added to his assist tally as of late, getting forward better. He can play right and left back, doing all the things we need him to do. But Ben White has a really, really strong connection with Bukayo Saka down that right side in terms of timing his overlaps, playing those kind of looping balls over the top to Saka when Saka overlaps, and just a general understanding of how the two should play together in that right-hand side in the attacking third. And Timber, I think we all know, likes to come a little bit more into the half spaces, pushing Saka further wide. And a lot of times in that about 55 to 70-minute range, Arsenal had a lot of the ball, and they had a lot of the ball on the right-hand side, and there was so much room down that right-hand side for an overlapping fullback. And Jurrien Timber really wasn't comfortable being there. And I think Ben White can really offer something. I'd love to see Ben White play a little bit more minutes. I don't know if he'll start, but Timber struggled with Kvara. He struggled with Doué. That opening 10 minutes, he was super, super shaky. He picked up a knock. He's played a lot of minutes. I'd play Ben White on the weekend against Bournemouth. Let him get his legs in under him, and that way he can maybe play 25, 30 minutes. If we need to go get a goal, Ben White is the right back to have in there. As crazy as that sounds, but Ben White, unbelievable crosser of the ball, unbelievable at timing his runs, such a good understanding on that right-hand side with Saka and Odegaard. We saw so many great goals come from them in the last 2 seasons. I'd really like to see Ben White get a little bit more run out in this match. And hopefully Bournemouth is going to show why he's so useful to this side still, because I think he's become a bit of a forgotten man for Mikel Arteta and this Arsenal side. Thanks for watching Arsenal Report. Make sure to subscribe for our daily videos covering analysis, tactics, summer transfer rumors, everything there is to know about Arsenal. And thanks so much for watching.